Hello, welcome back. This is a video on a working Noxie. Can we believe it? We're back out. I know this is a voiceover recording because I wasn't actually recording my audio on this ride, but this is a up-to-date footage video. I'm not using old stuff. We've got wet, miserable, salty winter roads. Yay. So I'll take this opportunity to do a little bit of an update video, and before you know it, I'll be back out filming the normal stuff, which will be very fun. But obviously we've seen Noxie go through quite a decent amount of maintenance, get her back up to scratch. I've obviously learned a lot in terms of taking care of this bike, making sure that, especially throughout winter, because I know I said I'd be a fair weather rider, clearly that has not been the case. Hopefully I will be able to take care of her to make sure she stays in tip-top condition, and of course throughout summer as well, making sure she is up to scratch. So that was the last video you saw, the maintenance with James. After that video I took her out for a test ride and she was riding brilliantly. Obviously she's got new brake pads, things like the fork oil have been replaced. Obviously that just helps with the suspension of the bike overall. That was definitely something I noticed. It's a much smoother ride now. I've done about 200 miles on Noxie since that service now, so the brake pads are basically bedded in. I've definitely noticed a change over those 150-ish miles. Also, the rear suspension was knocked down to the correct level for me, and that has obviously helped the general smoothness of the ride as well. And her power feels smoother because of all of the other bits and bobs that were going on. So, overall, she rides like a dream. We just had a minor hiccup, which I'll explain. So, after a little while riding around, some overheating issues started happening again, which obviously was not fun to see because we'd just replaced the radiator, we'd sorted out the cooling system, everything was working as it should. You might remember the first radiator we took out, the original one, had a dent in it. And obviously when you see a radiator with a dent in it, you think, oh, a rock's hit it. You don't think that part of the bike's infrastructure has collided with it. Well, that's what did happen. Not on my Noxie maintenance bingo card, that's for sure. So, essentially, this new aftermarket radiator. Now, thankfully, I did not buy a very expensive stock one. This is just an aftermarket one from eBay. This new one didn't last long because, unknowing to us, the horn bracket was the thing that damaged the previous radiator. Now, maybe not completely because the radiator, the old one, wasn't leaking from the same spot, but they had the same collision patch, and this new one, as we were filling up coolant which had drained, which wasn't meant to have drained, which was our first warning sign, the coolant started coming out of the radiator through that damaged portion. So, after much swearing, we ordered another, basically the exact same radiator from the exact same people. They must have thought I was crazy, or maybe I had two Ninja 250s, I don't know. And James rerouted the horn to the side of the bike. Now, why this has only just become an issue, I don't know. Obviously, it was an issue on the old radiator, so before all of this maintenance happened. But how that lasted so long is a mystery. I don't know how. Although I have noticed over my previous videos, over summer, the temperature gauge started working less and less, or the needle started moving less and less. So maybe the old one was sort of gradually failing, whereas this new one just sort of one hit and it was gone. I don't know. Anyway, that was a bit of a sour note, obviously, because we weren't expecting the horn bracket, which hadn't moved, to impact the radiator. It may have something to do with, like, it's got the Oxford horn on it, so potentially it might have, changed the weight or something and caused it to move. Who knows? None of that had moved in months, so why it suddenly became an issue is not really 100% clear. Thankfully, though, it's not going to happen again because, one, James rerouted the horn, so thankfully there's nothing in the way on the actual bike that will hit the radiator. Also, the lovely people at R&G have saved Noxie from future radiator impacts by sending a radiator guard. Now, I'm incredibly grateful to them, and I've got a very special announcement to make. So, I think it was like a couple of days into the year, I get a message from them asking if I would like to be an R&G ambassador. And I was like, yes please. Oh my god. So, I have a discount code to share with you all. If you are interested in buying RNG products, obviously I can highly recommend them. Noxie is basically fully kitted out now. You'll see a few more of the other products they sent me in future videos. In fact, in this one, I'm testing out their anti-fog spray on my visor, so I'm not wearing a pin lock in it. And it really surprised me how clear it was. That was very fun. So, if you would like to purchase from RNG, make sure you use the code TIPTOE10 and you'll get 10% off your order, and it will let them know that you came from my channel, which will be very appreciated. Once again, massive thank you to those guys for sending over lots of different bits, including the radiator guard, which is now on Noxie and protecting this new radiator from any more damage. Thanks to James for helping me out with rerouting the horn and adding this guard to the radiator. So there we go, there was a little bit of drama that she caused, but she is working absolutely fine now, and I'm really enjoying obviously having a much smoother ride. Loving working suspension for once. Brakes feel sharper. Obviously the other problem was my wheel bearings had gone in the front wheel, which meant she was quite difficult to move around. Well, she got more and more difficult to move around, but there's no problems with that now. So it was a bit of a pros and cons situation when we found out the issue. Obviously I would have liked an ideal situation where I didn't have to buy a replacement radiator for the replacement radiator, but thankfully it wasn't a huge expense. And of course the parcel from RNG made things a little bit sweeter as well, so that was lovely. So there we go, bit of an update for you. The next video will hopefully be a normal one. This is kind of normal, but I don't normally do the voiceovers. I'm normally in my helmet talking to you as I'm going along. Like and subscribe. Go check out the RNG discount code in the description, plus a few other codes. I've got a chin mounts code for you. Okay, that is all for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!